These are Bart's most childish moments. The kids get stranded on an island because of one of Bart's stupid games. Das Bus opens with the kids going on a field trip, and Otto is the only grown-up with them.
Remember, Otto, we're trusting you with our greatest natural resource, the school bus.
Yeah, don't mind the kids. The bus is what's important. Bart and Nelson decide to waste their food and play with it on the bus by seeing whose fruit will roll faster.
Go apple! Go orange!
I know Bart is only 10, but come on, that seems too childish even for him. Milhouse wanted to be a part of the game, of course, so he took a grapefruit and rolled it a bit too hard, and it got stuck under Otto's brake.
What the? It burns! I can't see!
Who thought this was a smart idea? Otto tells the kids to stay calm and be his eyes, but he strays off the road and they fall off the bridge.
Just hang tight, kids! I'll swim for help!
Who put him in charge? The kids manage to get to shore, but now they're stranded on an island. They start blaming each other for the accident, but ultimately, it was Milhouse's fault. Or Bart's, depends on how you look at it.
What's everyone's problem? I'm glad we're stranded.
Huh? Bart says that this is gonna be fun, because they can build their own island, and they'd be the ones in charge.
We're gonna live like kings. Damn hell-ass kings!
Where's Lisa, the voice of reason? But Bart's delusion was cut short when they couldn't find any food or build a shelter.
No food, no shelter, no monkey butlers. This island is a death hole.
Now you've come to that conclusion. Bart remembers they had a cooler full of snacks on the bus, so he takes Milhouse's inhaler and swims for it. He takes the cooler back to the store and the kids go at it, but Lisa quickly stops them.
We may have to live on this food for a long time, so no more until tomorrow.
But I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
Imagine how hungry you'll be after days of no food. The next morning, they wake up to an empty cooler and Milhouse surrounded by snack wrappings.
Morning. Is it time to eat?
Looks like you already did.
Oh, he's about to be beaten up. Milhouse swears he didn't do it, but no one believes him. Lisa said that Milhouse has the right to a fair trial.
Could anyone else have taken it?
Well, I guess you could have.
Milhouse, I am defending you.
He really doesn't know when it's time to just shut up. Milhouse keeps saying that there's a monster on the island and that it took their food, but no one takes him seriously.
I remind you, we are not here to debate the existence of monsters.
Lisa pointed out that nobody actually saw Milhouse eat the food, so they have no evidence to charge him with it. But I think they have bigger problems than putting Milhouse on trial here.
It's my opinion that Milhouse probably did eat the food. But since there's no proof, I must find him not guilty.
The kids don't like this verdict, so they turn on Bart, Lisa, and Milhouse, and they're forced to run away.
The hunt is on.
So this is what society would look like if kids were in charge. Basically the same as it is now. The three of them hide in a cave, but the other kids catch up to them.
The monster!
All of them run outside, but it turns out the monster is just a big boar.
Hey, look at his tusk.
So the boar ate our food.
So Milhouse was right. I hate it when that happens. Lisa pointed out that if the boar could survive, so could they.
That's what he's been eating? Slime! And there's enough slime for all of us! Chris, save!
Maybe there's enough slime for you, Lisa.
How's your dinner, Elise?
Ah, shut up. Savages.
But how will they get off that island?
And eventually, they were rescued by, let's say, Mo.
Bart was never scared of taking things into his own hands, so it's no wonder he moved out at 10. Bart finds out that Homer used him to get money, so he decides to emancipate himself and live on his own. Barting Over starts with Bart and Lisa finding an old tape titled Bart Sad. They watch it, and it turns out it's an ad for a supplement that will help with the baby's bad breath.
This isn't Bart Sad, it's Bart's ad.
Homer probably wrote that, right? Bart confronts Homer and Marge about it, and Homer says he was going to tell them about it on his deathbed.
And you made a lot of money. I did. Where is it?
Guess. So, not only did they use him to make money, but they spent all of it.
You stole my money! Bart, stop that!
That's okay. His cute little hands can't even fit around my neck.
Well, he learned from the best. Bart tells Marge he's sick of the way Homer treats him, and that Homer always disrespects him. Bart is upset that he's just supposed to accept this treatment.
That's right. You're mine till you're 18, and when you're 17, I'm gonna know the end is near, so I'm gonna work you like a dog.
I know Homer's not an ideal father, but respect is earned, and Bart isn't very respectful towards his father. Bart talks to Milhouse, and he tells him that if he wants to make Homer cry, he should get a lawyer. So, Bart does that. He gets a lawyer, and he says he wants to be emancipated from his parents.
Emancipated? Don't you like being a dude?
Maybe emancipation is not such a bad thing. There's nothing more he can learn from Homer. Bart tells Marge that she's always been cool to him, but
Homer is a lousy dad, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
well, of course Marge is cool. She never does anything that could make Bart mad. The judge rules that Bart is to be emancipated, and he starts packing.
Please don't go, Bart. I'll let you swear in the house. Everything but the big three.
Yeah, that'll make up for Homer's behavior. Bart gets in a cab, and Homer yells for him.
That's right. Crawling on your knees. Crawling!
Bart's first night in his loft didn't really pan out the way he thought. He got scared of a big rat, and he got in an elevator that took him to...
Hey, it's an emancipated miner.
Good to know he's famous.
If my dad could see this, he'd be so mad.
He can't. There's a webcam right there.
Don't you think you've heard him enough? The family comes to visit Bart, and Marge tells Homer he needs to be on his best behavior, so maybe they could convince Bart to come home.
I was wrong to exploit you, and I won't do it again.
They ask him if he might consider coming home, and Bart says...
Sorry, no can do. I'm taking off for 6 months to join the skewed tour.
So Bart's solution to his problems is to join a rock and roll skateboarding extreme sports festival. Okay. Homer thinks he can win Bart's affection back if he can beat Tony Hawk in skateboarding, and he agrees to help him.
Woohoo! I rule this pseudo sport! Come back to me, boy!
Bart tells him he doesn't understand.
This was never about being cool. It was about you not caring how I felt.
Homer tells Bart he's sorry, and if he had an opportunity to make it right, he would.
Would you like to do a commercial for us?
Anything, as long as I can give the money to my son.
Really, Homer? Anything? The lady says she represents Viagra, a rub for bald, impotent men. Homer interprets it as bold and important.
Side effects include loss of scalp and penis.
What did they say about my scalp?
Homer tried to do nice things for his family, but the money was tight at times. Though this didn't prevent Marge from finding ways to make her special little guy happy. Bart tries to make the family vacation last forever. A totally fun thing Bart will never do again. Opens with Bart waking up on Monday morning and having to do the whole school thing again and again, showing us just how depressed he is. But then he sees a commercial for a cruise that's supposed to be the most fun week of his life. Marge tells him they can't afford it, but that won't stop Bart. He makes a big yard sale from all the things he owns.
Bart's been raptured, and his crap's been craptured!
Unfortunately, even with all of his things sold, he can't afford the cruise. But then, the next morning, his money jar was full.
That means the devil accepted my bargain. Now, to uphold my end of the deal. Snowball 2!
This is a sign of Bart we absolutely didn't need to see. Marge tells him they saw just how much this means to him, so all of them sold something of their own.
I actually did it. A perfect vacation.
Why do I get the feeling it won't be so perfect? The cruise turned out to be everything and more. 1,000,000 fun activities for the kids, which means alone time for the parents. And Bart was real proud of himself for getting his family on this vacation.
Boy, thanks to you, we're having fun. Before you were born fun.
A compliment with a touch of an insult, just perfect. Before their dinner, the crew members sing a song about enjoying your time while you're still here, because it only lasts a week. And Bart starts hyperventilating. Bart wants to have fun, but he realizes it's only for a week.
Then it's back to Mom and Dad fighting, Lisa moping, homework, bullies.
Bart, I guess it's time you learned that awful life lesson. Vacations are not forever.
After this cruise, for the rest of my life, it's all downhill.
Now that's really depressing. Bart says to himself that he has to do something to make the vacation last longer.
Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly. Unprecedented threat requires a worldwide quarantine.
Were Bart's prayers answered, or did he have something to do with this?
They're buying it. Chillingly plausible indeed, Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal.
So he can be smart when he needs to. Not only does he spread panic, but he also demolishes the only connection they have with the land.
It appears we have no choice. To avoid the virus, we must remain at sea indefinitely.
Everyone looks worried and panicked, except Bart. After 12 days, the ship looks awful. There's no food, and people are preparing for death.
Romantic Antarctica? Our activities will include building shelter, hunting for food, and starting civilization anew.
Why has he let it go this far? Bart is confused as to why his parents aren't having fun and enjoying themselves.
The customer service on this cruise has really gone downhill.
Drop dead, fat ass!
I can only imagine why. Bart goes to check on Lisa, and he tells her that at least she and her geeks are having sweet fun.
Like monks during the Dark Ages, it's up to the Kids Zone elite to make a record of human culture.
Wow, they're really taking this seriously. Later that day, the family gathers to watch a movie, and coincidentally, it's the same movie Bart showed everyone 12 days ago.
Bart, how could could you?
You keep wondering that after every prank, but the truth is, it's always the same answer. His childishness. Marge takes Bart to the crew's director so he can confess to what he did, but instead of, regular being mad, and I don't know, what else would you do in a situation like this? They drop the Simpsons at Antarctica. Lisa tells Bart that this is the most selfish thing he's ever done, and he tells her he wasn't being selfish.
Mom and Dad, you were more happy and in love than I ever saw you.
Yeah, but stranding hundreds of people on a ship isn't the way to go, Bart. It just isn't. They come across some penguins, and Bart isn't really impressed with their lives.
They spend all their time trying to raise a baby, and why? So it can grow up and do the same dumb thing.
Lisa points out that some of them were having fun sliding.
Well, sure, life is full of pain and drudgery, but the trick is to enjoy the few perfect experiences.
Homer tells Bart to stop thinking about fun and just have it, which is honestly the best advice he's ever given him.
What a great ride.
Bart has always been an adrenaline seeker, but there were times when he just went too far. Bart gets Edna Krabappel fired. Bart Gets a Z opens with Edna Krabappel getting ready for her job, and while her life doesn't seem so bright and shiny, she still goes into that classroom with the words,
"Okay, Edna, remember, if you can teach one kid one thing, then today will be a success."
Unfortunately, the only thing her class is interested in is cell phones. Since she couldn't get them to pay attention any other way, Edna took away their phones, which Bart, of course, thought was greatly unfair.
Krabappel just needs to chill out and realize life is cool. But how?
Bart realizes that Homer is a lot more fun with a few beers in him, so he comes up with the idea to...
Maybe Mrs. K would be nicer if we Irish up her coffee.
Put blood in it?
No, booze.
They get the booze and spike Edna's coffee, and none of them seem to have a problem with it, which is concerning.
What if she tastes the booze? Relax. Hazelnut creamer covers all sins.
Does it cover roofying someone? Edna gets drunk, but as if that wasn't enough, Bart pours her even more coffee.
These pantyhose are all twisted up.
Edna, please. Even the Union can't protect you from this.
Not even God can protect her from that. Skinner has to let Edna go for getting drunk at the school, and she's totally confused by how it happened.
I never wanted her to get fired.
I bet it was that hamster medicine we added that put her over the edge.
The amount of crimes they committed just so they could have their phones in class. Bart was about to tell Skinner what he did, but then the new teacher showed up and he seems really cool.
But why talk when I could text?
Where is our education system going? The new teacher gives Bart Edna's stickers, so he can give them back to her since he's running a paperless classroom. Bart comes to her place after school and sees Edna depressed in her robe in a dirty apartment.
You've got to get out.
What's the point? Out of work, I'm out of money. No man wants me except Disco Stew.
Wow, she's really sunken low. Bart talks to Milhouse about what they can do for Edna, and a girl working at the coffee shop recommends a book called The Answer.
The answer is the secret to achieving your heart's desire. Learn the answer and change your life.
Now that's just the stupid thing Edna might need. Bart goes to her place again and starts working with her on getting better.
Look, Mrs. K, I'm a Simpson, and a Simpson never gives up until he's tried at least one easy thing.
That is true. Bart helps Edna achieve her dream of owning a muffin store, and...
Well, opening this store was a lot of work. But your faith in me got me through it.
Well, his lack of faith in your being fun abilities is what got you here in the first place. Bart slips out that he's off the hook now, and Edna makes him confess what he meant by that.
But this place was your dream.
My real dream was to be a teacher, and you got me fired.
He really should have thought this through. Edna tells him that no matter what he's done, she always thought that there was a spark of decency in him.
I never thought I'd say this to a child, but you are bad on the inside.
Hey, serves him right for what he did. Bart starts wondering about what Edna said and thinking about how he could get her job back. So he decides to spike the new teacher's drink and get him fired. But at that last moment, he changed his mind. Bart confesses that he got Miss Krabappel drunk.
Then I was going to do the same thing to Zach, but I decided it was better to just tell the truth.
Skinner tells him it doesn't matter, because he can't just fire Zach for no reason.
Children suck! Children suck!
What the faculty lounge talk out in the halls?
At least the teachers didn't lose their sense of humor. Skinner asks Bart if he maybe did spike his drink, but Bart swears he didn't.
No, he's right. I mixed a little vodka in with my blue Bronco.
It's always the young ones that go crazy the fastest. Edna comes back and she says she's really happy to be there.
Now everyone enjoy one of my yummy muffins.
But it's stale.
eat the muffin.
Bart knows how to push other people's buttons, but when someone pushes his, there's no saying what he might do. The Simpsons travel to New Orleans in hopes of getting Bart and Lisa to feel better. Lisa gets the blues opens with Lisa's music teacher telling her that she should give up on her dreams of being a famous sax player, because there will always be someone better than her.
Lisa, sweetie, I'm afraid this world is filled with Lisa Simpsons.
Huh?
Bright, talented, and doomed to disappointment.
That's not very motivational. Meanwhile, Bart is pulling a prank on Jimbo.
Sleeping people are my canvas.
That's some cutting satire, Simpson.
Honestly, I don't even know why he does it. It's not like he won't get beaten up every time. The bullies take him into a room full of school costumes, and they pick out the most embarrassing one.
That'll traumatize him good.
They are really cruel. Bart has to sing a song in front of the whole cafeteria.
Sing until food fills your mouth.
Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow.
I agree it's too much, but he's been asking for it from day one with his pranks.
Now get the white out.
Leaping lizards.
That's disturbing. Bart comes home and Lisa sees his pupils, or lack of them.
Bart, what happened to your pupils?
They're antied, okay?
Hey, you reap what you sow. The night over dinner, Marge says that her aunt is turning 100, and she invited them over to Gainesville. Everyone hates this, because it's a boring town and they won't have anything to do there.
The Simpsons are going to... I can't say it. Gainesville.
Suck it up, geez, it's only a few days. On the plane, Homer says that maybe they'll have one of those passenger riots, and with him there, of course it happened. The pilot says that because of the turbulence among passengers, they're gonna have to land immediately.
Our new destination is, let's see, New Orleans.
It's a miracle!
Except Marge's poor aunt. They land in New Orleans, but Lisa is still depressed about her sax, and Bart is butthurt because of what the bullies did to him. Marge and Homer agree that Homer should take Lisa, and she will take Bart.
Whoop-de-doo.
They really are spoiled, childish brats sometimes. Marge tries to talk to Bart about the history of New Orleans and all the fun things they could see, but he's not interested. She then shows him a store he might like.
I always read better when the letters are dripping like blood.
Bart, you go in there, and I'll pray for you in here.
That's legit, if you ask me. Bart goes inside the shop and sees voodoo dolls, and he remembers the bullies.
You'll pay. You'll all pay. Mom, will you pay for this?
Well, anything for her special little guy. Back in their room, Bart starts burning the voodoo doll's feet, and he asks Milhouse if anything's happened yet. Milhouse says no, but then he starts asking about Lisa and her depression.
Oh, give up on Lisa. Wait for Maggie.
Wait, Maggie likes me?
Bart, don't do Maggie like that. Milhouse tells Bart that the voodoo dolls are not working, but then the bullies overhear him and he confesses to what's going on.
There's no voodoo in Gainesville.
Their flight got diverted to New Orleans.
They immediately start fighting and Milhouse tells Bart that his plan worked.
So, has Maggie said anything about me? We have a lot in common. Ow, ow, ow!
Maggie, you either kill him with that voodoo doll or start running. Bart and Marge go to a bar to meet Homer and Lisa finally got over her depressive episode and played sax with the band. Then Homer realized something. They helped everyone else, but they hadn't done anything for her.
A mother's happy as long as all her children are happy.
But she wasn't such a good mom all of the time, which made her children go two totally separate ways. While this episode is Lisa-centric, it still has a few important scenes that speak to Bart's childishness past his childhood years. Mr. Lisa's Opus starts when Lisa was just a little baby, and her promise was shining through even then.
Oh, sweetie, it's no surprise you're awesome. We didn't have to pull you out by the elbow, like the boy.
Well, that stab was earned, you gotta give Bart that. Fast forward, Lisa is writing her Harvard admissions essay, and Bart is bothering her.
Rhinos are extinct, Nimrod.
Not hippos. I just saw one in Smelly Boo pants.
Making the same jokes in your 20s? Yeah, that's really mature. Homer hears this and starts choking Bart when he points out that he's choking someone who can legally vote now.
But did you vote?
No.
Why, you
Come
little
on,
non-voting, fascist enabling...
Hey, I'd choke him too for not voting. Lisa went on to write her letter saying she was born with one great advantage.
A family that never made anything easy.
She should have a medal for that. On her 7th birthday, everyone forgot about it. The same thing happened a year later. You'd think they'd remember it. I mean, 2 years in a row? Really? Then she writes about her parents and how they made her 14th birthday especially hard.
Lisa, it's your birthday. Here's 5 brand new verses.
Wow, he really recycled that to the max. Couldn't he have bought her like a nice pen or something? Lisa was trying to find space in Marge's closet, but she found a packed suitcase.
Since we married, you've changed. Not once for the better.
Is Marge finally leaving Homer? Lisa ran to Bart to tell him what she found out, but his only reaction was,
Oh, the poor guy. Please let me tell him, please.
not one shred of humanity in him, or maturity. He will forever stay 10. Homer went to Moe's and Lisa followed him and told him about Marge's plan and that she packed a suitcase. Homer asks Lisa if Marge is still using the suitcase with the broken wheel.
Because she won't get more than a block away with that.
She fixed the wheel.
Oh, God!
Homer realized he needed to shape up, so he called his sponsor, aka Ned Flanders. He helped him stop drinking literally in under a minute, and he was a different man.
He did quit for good, and it was the best birthday present I ever got.
That's really hard to believe, but damn, good for them. The admissions office at Harvard read Lisa's letter and accepted her immediately. The family packed to send her off to college. Lisa meets her roommate, and she seems superior to her in every way. Well, that's only in Lisa's head.
At least you're having a good time.
Yeah, these girls want me to piss off their parents before they head home.
How mature.
Tell them I have 2 kids. The beauty part is, it's not a lie.
Lisa's next project should be to get Bart to shape up. If she succeeded with Homer, this shouldn't be too hard. Bart sees that Lisa is having second thoughts, and he tells her,
You're gonna ask better questions. You're gonna get into their brains like an earworm and chew, chew, chew.
the last part is disgusting, but at least the first one is true.
Now make Mom and Dad proud, and then I'll make them proud. But you first.
Somebody's gotta break the ice. And now let's see how Bart's childishness looks in the eyes of Homer. Homer tries to help Bart be better at school, so he might have a chance at a good future. Father Knows Worst starts with Homer burning his tongue, so he has to eat really bland food, and the only place with the food he can eat is the school cafeteria.
What? No!
Oh, come on, relax. I won't embarrass you.
You say that now, but I bet your pants will be off in 2 minutes.
Don't worry, I won't embarrass you.
See? Bart tells Homer he doesn't want him sitting with him, so Homer sits with a woman and her son.
Wow, he's terrified of you.
The woman says that that's why she's there, to make sure her son gets good grades. Homer was shocked by this, and he said that that's what the teachers are for.
But someday, your son will be my son's chauffeur.
Isn't that a bit pretentious? Homer says that Bart will be the future president of the United States.
Really? Let's see what the future president's doing right now.
That's not very future president of him, now is it?
You have to hover over your kid's shoulder to force him to succeed. It's called helicopter parenting.
It's also called being an obsessive parent. Homer says he's not worried because he has a backup plan called Lisa, but the woman points out that while she may have good grades, Lisa isn't very popular.
Oh my God. My son's a loser and my daughter's a loner. Way to go, Marge.
Of course, blame it all on Marge. That's the way to go. But Marge isn't really in the mood to worry about the kids, so Homer is left alone with his thoughts of his kids' unpromising futures.
If Marge doesn't worry about the kids, then that leaves me!
The next day at school, Homer goes to see how Bart's doing in his own class.
There's no future in that!
There isn't much of a future in anything Bart does. Bart's teacher announces that there will be a model building competition, and the winner will get a $1,000 savings bond for their college education.
Bart Simpson, what will you be making?
I don't know.
If he has a say in it, nothing. Homer sees a poster of the Washington Monument, makes a paper airplane out of it, and sends it to Bart.
I did it! I helped my son! Helicopter Homer, away!
Homer and Bart go to the store to buy wood for their model, but Skinner tells Homer that the Washington Monument just says that they don't care, and they pick the easiest model to build. Homer asks the store owner what the hardest model there is, and he says Westminster Abbey.
Attention, parents, children, and childless weirdos! My son and I are going to build Westminster Abbey!
Now that is also a bit pretentious, but when you have Bart as your son, you have to work twice as hard to impress other parents. Homer got so obsessed with making Bart look great in the eyes of other parents that he didn't let him make the model himself, nor work on it together.
Do you want me to watch and learn?
Nah, that kind of creeps me out.
Homer fell asleep in the middle of building it and ruined it completely.
Now we could smash the real Westminster Abbey so it looks like this.
Yeah, I don't think that'll solve much. The judges start looking at the models, and Superintendent Chalmers stops when he sees Bart's model.
The only entry that repels my eye enough to be constructed by a student is this one.
Bart wins the contest, and Homer starts cheering and letting other parents know that he's the best helicopter parent, when Bart asks Homer why he can't let him do things by himself.
In the words of Oscar Wilde, experience is simply the name we give to our mistakes.
I guess he had a vision of him in his dream, because there's no way he knew that quote. Homer Homer apologizes to him and says,
"From now on, the only thing I'll ever do for you is co-sign if you want a gun."
Well, good to know. We've seen how Bart's actions have affected Homer, but how does his childish behavior affect Marge? Marge realizes Bart is slipping through her fingers and she has a mental breakdown. A mid-childhood night's dream starts in the past with Marge playing with Bart and Lisa, but then something rather strange happens.
Marge, what's wrong?
It's slipping away.
You need to stop that.
Okay, now that's rude.
Bart, what is happening?
Marge wakes up and realizes it was all just a dream, and Homer asks her if she's okay. He sees that she's sick and asks her if she should see a doctor, but she says she's fine.
I wonder why you didn't get sick.
The clinical term is, I'm all throwed up.
The other medical term would be an iron stomach. Marge says that the bounce-a-thon is tomorrow, and she has to be there for the kids. She goes back to sleep, but has another bad dream about losing Bart.
I've lost my little boy.
You know this is a dream, right?
Marge thinks to herself if this is one of those dreams where you know you're dreaming, and then Lisa shows up. Lisa explains to her that she's lucid dreaming, but Marge still can't figure out why she's having nightmares about Bart. She decides to take a look at her memories. She remembers going to school to talk to Bart's teacher.
You know, last year of elementary school, and then it's on to middle school, and
middle school?
Uh-oh.
But 5th grade isn't the end of Bart's childhood, right?
I mean, technically, it is the last year of it.
No wonder Marge lost her mind and is dreaming about losing Bart. Marge wakes up and tells the kids she'll be coming to the bounce-a-thon, and Bart asks her if she's sick. Marge says she's fine, but then she kept throwing up, and finally admitted she might not make it. Marge tells Homer he has to take a picture of the kids giving thumbs up at the finish line for her scrapbook, but Bart has to disappoint her.
There's no way I can do a thumbs up at Bounce-a-thon.
What?
Now, Bart, you might have just pushed your mom to the edge because of your childish pranks.
You should respect that this is just how I am this year.
Marge tells Bart that he sounds very mature and grown up.
I hate that.
Well, now she's going too far with it. Marge falls asleep and has another lucid dream where Homer tells her that even if Bart has grown up, she still has Lisa and Maggie.
Bart is just the beginning. One by one. All my babies will leave the nest.
Marge, that's the way life goes. But don't worry, Bart ain't going nowhere. Homer, in the form of a dog, tells her that that's not happening now.
So it's silly to be sad about it now. It's like going to work on time. There's no point.
You gotta give it to him when he's right. He's really right. Homer wants to show her one of her memories. That morning, when she said she was going to the bounce-a-thon, she didn't notice one thing.
Mommy's coming, there she is.
She's rehearsing her thumbs up.
See, there's still two kids who appreciate the effort. Marge realized that she had to be there for Lisa before her childhood slipped away.
I'll be there, Lisa. I won't miss it.
It's gonna be a miracle if she makes it. But there's nothing stronger than a mother's will to be there for her child. So Marge manages to get to the school.
It's okay. I'll just hold my breath.
Isn't Homer on picture duty? The next thing she sees is that she's lying in a tent and Bart's teacher is telling her she passed out. Marge explains to her that she's been a wreck since their meeting when she said that Bart's childhood is over, and the teacher seemed confused and explained that she didn't say that.
I did notice that you got very quiet after I mentioned middle school.
Marge realizes it was all in her head, so she decides to take a little nap. She woke up just in time for Bart's race.
My funny little guy.
When he crossed the finish line, he mooned the entire audience, and Marge was worried about him growing up.
Was my crack centered?
Oh, Bart, it was perfect.
You liked it?
I loved it.
But what would happen if Bart's childishness changed the course of fate? Skinner pulls a prank on Bart, which led Bart into a spiral, and he went to rehab. Fears of a Clown opens when Martin finds out that Skinner is retiring, and he spreads the rumor around the school.
Skinner leaving. One last chance to honor him with a shot to the head.
Doesn't he realize he could literally kill him? Bart can't get a good shot at him, and Skinner says that he wants to share a farewell with one student chosen at random.
Bart Simpson.
There is a god, and his name is the Devil.
As Bart was walking up to the stage, he took a shot, but Skinner was prepared for it.
Gotcha!
No, got you. Now, Willie, the honey.
Is this what I think it is?
Simpson, I'm not retiring. This was all just a prank on you.
I know Bart has made it a living hell for him, but this seems like a really brutal thing to do to a child. Bart tells Marge he doesn't know how to live this down, and the next day, all the teachers were laughing at him. Bart says that he's gonna get back at all of them. That night, Bart snuck into everyone's houses and glued Krusty the Clown masks on their faces.
What the? Simpson!
My skin. Ah!
I can't help but be on Bart's side this time. Yes, he's the ultimate prankster, but they really did a number on him in front of the whole school. Bart's prank really shook up Springfield, and it even made the news.
Clowns, once a source of delight, have now become more twisted than the balloon animals they
But there's one particular clown that was greatly affected by this. Because of Bart's prank, Krusty can't do his shows anymore because people are afraid of clowns now.
People hate clowns now, and the advertisers want to meet with you.
That's gonna be a pickle. Marge tells Homer that she doesn't understand Bart with his pranks.
Boys will be boys.
That's another thing I don't get. What does that mean?
That's another lame-o excuse for boys doing bad things and not getting punished. No wonder Bart turned out the way he did, with Homer always using that excuse. The family goes to juvenile court with Bart, and he tells the judge that he's done it all.
State juvie, groovy juvie, the Montessori prison, outward and inward bound.
You'd think he'd have some remorse, but no. And instead of the judge doing his job correctly, he says,
based on the ancient judicial principle, boys will be boys.
No!
Nobody's getting off easy while Marge can say a few things. Marge says that she loves her son, but he has a real problem. The judge then decides to sentence Bart to 28 days in rehab. Bart is angry and doesn't understand why Marge let this happen.
Because I love you, Bart, and a mother's toughest job is saying, help me, my kid has a problem.
I wasn't on board with her at the Mr. Burns trial, but I think she has a point here. Marge starts having second thoughts about what she did, but Homer is not the best support.
Oh, Marge, part of being a parent is doing things that'll make your child never speak to you again.
That'll calm her nerves. Marge goes to the rehab center with Bart, and the doctor promises he can help Bart, but it seems like Bart doesn't want any help. He put pins on the doctor's chair, and when he came in, Bart asked him to sit down.
I think I'll need some help. Marge, could you come in here? Please, take my seat.
Oh, he's good. Bart starts sweating because he doesn't want Marge to sit down, and the doctor kept pushing his buttons.
Well, maybe I should try a different tack.
Mom, don't sit down! I don't want to hurt you!
So he does have a conscience. The doctor said that he completed the first step, which is learning empathy. Bart goes through his rehab, and the last step is making amends for the things he's done. He apologizes to Willie for shaving his beard, and
I'm sorry I used your baseball chalker to write Skinner sucks.
I'll show you! Wait, you can do that?
Unfortunately, Willie encourages him, and Bart pulls a prank again.
You know I had just completed rehab.
Well, me too.
Good to know. They're a pair of addicts. The school hosts a Bart Simpson apology day, and Milhouse tells Bart he can't believe he's cured of pranks.
Look up there. Water balloons, ready to drop.
He'll never change. As he was about to go onto the stage, Marge came up to him and told him that she was very proud.
And know that sitting in that audience will be your mother, who's always believed in you.
She always knows what to say to make Bart question his existence. Bart looks at the crowd of people and the balloons, and for a split second, he thinks about what he's about to do.
Run!
But a split second too late.
Simpson!
Motherhood sucks.
Remember, you still have Lisa and Maggie. Marge walks out into the hall, and Homer sees her all wet.
Boys will be boys. This is a boys will be boys room.
He's about to pay for everything Bart has ever done. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what your favorite Bart's childish moment is in the comments below.